We're live. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you.
Hey.
I can see a bunch of people coming in already. Um, we have a really good live stream. I'm here with Jan, who's already really
Mm-hmm.
excited.
Yes.
And oh, do we have a timestamp going in the top left corner? Can anybody see that?
A time? No.
Yeah. Does
What?
it say
What?
live 16? Hi, Melinda. Um,
Eh.
does anybody else see that, or is that just me?
I don't.
That's
I'm not
probably
seeing
just me.
anything like that. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Cassidy. Let's just say hello. Hello, Corvus.
Yeah.
Hi,
Before we get
Morg.
started on today's topic, we're just going to take a minute to say hello to everybody and just give a couple of grace minutes for people to get into the chat.
Yeah. Um, okay. So, yeah, we're going to go over a really interesting article, but we're going to hang out. I kind of posted the notice for this a little bit late, so we decided we would just relax a bit with you guys for a few minutes. Can everybody
Mm-hmm.
hear okay? Is everything good?
Everything looks good
Yeah,
on
hi
my end.
Melinda. Um,
Melinda,
yeah,
Corvus,
yeah.
Cassidy.
Um, guess whose birthday it is today?
It's Mark's birthday.
Yay!
Happy birthday,
Yay! Happy
Mark.
birthday, Mark.
Thank you.
Um, and do you see what's behind me?
The
See
lovely
that?
tapestry of
Yeah.
the eye.
Sorry about the fact that the thing it's hanging on is not big enough, but that is the largest sized tapestry you can get. It's absolutely enormous. And the reason I got it was I wanted to make sure that it wasn't pixelated. And it was
Mm-hmm.
Mark who helped me out with the graphic and upscaled it. And I got it, and it is not pixelated. So I will put that in our store. I have no idea. It's like a bedspread. It's absolutely huge. So
It looks big.
I would really need a smaller one. Oh, I see hearts going up in the bottom. Who did that? Did anybody see?
It's a new feature on YouTube where
Is
like you can like hit emojis and like gives off
That's
little things.
cool. We're getting little laughy
I know.
faces and little
I
hearts. That's so
I don't
cute.
know. I don't know if you remember the days where like people like there was the time where we did our live streams, not us, like a morgue on Instagram, and there was that little feature where you could sit and press like the emojis and then they just kind of like float up.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
like they're doing that for YouTube now, which I think is really cute.
Oh, Cassidy says it's only available on mobile. That's
It
kind of
is, yeah, because people were telling me about it during a live stream, and I'm like, "What are you people talking
talking
about?" And
about.
then they're like,
Oh.
look on the phone," and I'm like, "Oh,
Well, I can see it coming up on the chat here. Do you guys see that on your chat? Oh, I
no,
know, because I've got the pop out chat. That's how I'm seeing it. Oh, well, that's really cool. I love it.
yeah,
Um,
me too."
yeah,
I can
that's a
see it
neat
on my
feature.
phone.
Oh, you can see it
There you
on, and you
go.
can see it on your phone. I really get annoyed when I'm on my phone and I'm moderating because you can't tag people. I find that really frustrating. I don't
No,
know
yeah.
why don't they fix that already? Thank you, Morg. Morg
Oh, that's
super
nice. Super
chatted.
chat.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Um, yeah, so I usually try to be at my computer when I'm modding. And oh, and I just realized you guys, yeah, Philip's not here tonight. We miss him. He had an event he had to go to, and before we forget,
Be busy.
yeah, he's busy. And thank you. Yeah, that's the tapestry. That's the largest one, and I have to figure out how to display the whole thing. I just need a bigger. I need a bigger thing that it's on. Um, yeah.
You need
So
one of those things that they use for photography backgrounds,
yeah.
where you just have
Well,
like little stands that you can like hook it on, clip it onto.
oh, that's what I need. You know what I have is a just one of those foldable screens,
Yeah.
and
No, you can get one of those things on Amazon for super cheap.
that's what I need. Uh,
Yeah, I'll help you find one.
thank you, because
Yeah.
that's what I need. Hi, Crystal and somebody else,
Hey,
Rebecca. Hello, hi,
Rebecca
Cassie.
and
Nice to see
Cassie.
you. Thank you for coming. And Mark is actually going to mod for us. I can see it from here being on because you're. Hi, Joanna. Hi, Scorpy. Aw, it's so nice to see you guys. I think we could probably get going because I think
Yeah.
enough people have wandered in, and really, what tonight is that mod cam?
Modcam.
What we're talking about? I'm going to share my screen, so bear with me while I've got Jan here to help me press all the buttons. I have managed to
Press
do
the
it
buttons.
before. I know I need to press the buttons. So the first thing I do is go to Zoom and share my screen, correct? And then I
Yes.
come back to OBS and I have to switch from the Zoom to the screen capture. Quickly get out because everyone's going to prepare to go into hyperspace, you guys, because
They're
you're going to
gonna
get the multi. Yeah, you're going to get the multi.
they're
thing
gonna
going.
they're gonna see the panty drawer, of live streaming.
Yes. Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
Is that what I signed on for tonight?
Yeah. Right. It's like, what? Why did I say yes to this? Okay. All right. I'm sharing screen. I have share sound, and I am going to share. It doesn't matter. Just my stream.
There's no sound. I mean,
No. Where's the? Oh, yeah. There's no sound for the. I'm not showing a video. Where's my article? Don't I want the article? I guess it doesn't really matter. Just
pull it up in general.
Just yeah. Okay. So there we go. Go over to here, hit screen capture,
Perfect.
then get out of here and go to my desktop and go over to this one. Now, you guys should be able to see the article. Tell me if you can.
I'm not seeing it yet.
Oh, okay, but that's because you're on delay, right?
No, not for Zoom. It's not up on Zoom. So
what are you still seeing?
I'm still seeing your Streamlabs thing. So if you minimize that out. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so minimize your Streamlabs out.
Yeah, the reason is because.
Okay, minimize your Streamlabs.
Yep, I did. Well, I didn't minimize it. I just clicked out. That's okay, right?
Well, no. You got to minimize it because we're still looking at that.
Oh, you shouldn't, because I clicked that I wanted the screen capture. How about that?
No, we're still looking at the Streamlabs.
That's weird, because...
Can you minimize it?
I'm on screen. I did.
But you're still on it. I can see you're still on it.
No, I know, but I just minimized it. Now I'm looking at the article.
We're still not seeing the article. So go to your Zoom and make sure you're...
The article is up on my phone, but I'm not seeing it on my computer monitor. Maybe there's just a bit of a time lag.
Wait a minute. You can see it through the live stream?
I can see it through the stream, yeah.
Oh, so the stream is looking at it.
The stream is looking at it. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can't see it at all.
Oh, but you could a minute ago when we tested it. So
no. Well,
no,
when we tested
before,
it,
yeah, before.
But now I'm just looking at your I'm looking at your Streamlabs. I'm not actually seeing your...
That's weird.
Your thing here. It's the settings on Zoom itself. I don't think you're... I don't know.
No, I just hit share screen.
Yeah, you're sharing your screen, but all
sharing
I see is
to the stream. It's sharing to the stream.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So what I can't see.
Well, if the stream can see it and I can't, then that doesn't matter, I guess.
Sucks.
Jen, you're looking at the back room through Zoom. And
yeah.
That's it. We're all in the staff break room looking at Zoom.
Yeah. Okay.
The stream is seeing the article on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm monitoring both.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I just came on and I can see it. Thank you, Rebecca. And oh, hi, the Skrillex. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Alberto. Yeah, new people came in. I had to open my phone to see the chat because I've lost I'm always losing the chat, and I'm scared, frankly, at this point, to click anything on my desktop. So, so here we are. Hopefully, everybody can see us and hear us, and also see this article. And it's on Medium. .com, which has every day I get emails from them with people I follow, and then some suggestions. And this one caught my attention. You're not crazy. It's really not supposed to be like this. And I thought I need to read this. It's not terrifically new. I just think it's new information. I just think it's really good to cover it, especially now when so much is going on. I know it's very appropriate for me. So much is going on out there with politics, with global warming, especially a lot of stuff happening in the States. that I think a lot of us are feeling really overwhelmed. And what this article talks about is how we're actually experiencing trauma from it. So let's read a
Yeah.
little bit, but I have a feeling we're going to get into some of the things that are causing the trauma, and then we'll talk about some things we can do. The ones that are suggested in here are the things you would expect, but I think we have some more things coming from the Hyperion through the Hyperion lens that can help us with this. So let's just read a little bit of it. And it starts, have you heard enough about trauma yet? Trauma is the word of the decade, apparently. Yes, I would agree. Everyone's triggering everyone's trauma.
Yeah.
Our bodies keep the score. You know, who's winning? We're not. Whatever war it is we're fighting, it seems we're always losing it. We're addicted, alienated, confused, disoriented, aggressive, pissed off, and raging. And I'm sure you've heard this, the fine, we're just fine. Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. If the Xanax and emo rap are anything to go by, it's pretty clear the kids are not all right. It's overwhelming the amount of crazy coursing through our minds and veins and world. It's all coming apart. It certainly seems that way. What used to make sense no longer makes sense, and we're all hurting so damn much. These days, it seems like absolutely everyone is traumatized, and it might be because everybody is. And we need to pay attention to this because, you know, it can get really dangerous.
You know, this is something really interesting about this. It makes me think of how I kind of never really felt so traumatized about what's going on in the world till like mainly very recently. And perhaps everybody in many different generations go through these moments in life with historical like things that are going on. But like, for example, when the pandemic first hit and everyone was forced to quarantine, I felt like I was kind of like in a fishbowl looking out and then like seeing just horrendous shit happening, and there was really not much I could do about it besides just like continue to quarantine. But you know, like so many situations that went down where I'm like, I'm traumatized by what's going on in the world.
You know, I think it started from where I really noticed it was when Trump became president. But
yeah,
that's for me when I saw an agenda appearing that was very frightening. But still, I always expected that, you know, some rational, decent thought would maintain things, at least not make them worse, right? We know there's we talk all the time about what needs to be fixed and why the status quo is not good. So I don't think we don't need to explain that part. We know the whole system needs overhauling, but I didn't think it was going to get worse. And I didn't think we were in danger of that. And I think that for me, Trump started something that has continued, created much more chaos from, you know, his supporters, all of the crazy MAGA people.
I think we were all very surprised. Well, I mean, it was expected when Trump was elected, but it's just like it's always been this game since then of like, how much worse is it going to get? What's the worst thing he could say? How is he topping that? And then it just kept getting like worse and worse and worse. And I think the lack of reason and justice makes things feel super alarming, like unrealistic, almost like surreal.
Well, there's this agenda that he the people who wanted, he tapped into that, and I think that really emboldened them to now push for it. And so you actually hear the Christian nationalism being used. You hear you know, the very conservative family values things being pushed, and then we see the actual effects through legislation. Like it's actually changing what people can and cannot do. So it's not just talk. It's not just, you know, this is what we would like, but they never really got it. Now it's happening, and it's like it feels like it's steamrolling. A lot of the things happening in Florida that are so frightening. those things are going to spread to the, just because it's happening in Florida and we're like, okay, well, we can just avoid Florida. And I was listening to people in Florida talking about fleeing. They're prepared. They're prepared to flee the state, and at a moment's notice, depending on how much they think their lives are in danger. And that is truly frightening.
Somebody needs to tell the Floridians that Georgia's not accepting immigrants.
Yeah.
Speaking of Georgia, Mark, what kind of like major things are like kind of like going on in terms of traumatizing people with legislation?
Oh God, I can't even track it all. I can't even track it all. But it's a pretty much a right-wing Republican machine. So there's a lot of efforts in the same bad directions. Some of it's mitigated. There's a little more enlightenment around Atlanta, and it sort of keeps some ballast for Georgia. We're not in the bottom 7 states for being Southern GOP land, but we're in the bottom 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
The devil went down to Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'd go to Georgia over Florida now.
At this point, I mean,
you know,
Florida, where woke goes to die, apparently.
What do you think about Disney? I heard that DeSantis was doing some. I haven't read the actual thing.
But... where Disney is actually the property of Disney is independent, so it's independent of the government and the city and the county, whatever. So Ron DeSantis wants to take that away. The controversy with that is at that point, Florida as a state and even like the city and the county are going to have to start stepping up and taking care of things like maintenance stuff, like streets, taking care of garbage, waste management, like all that stuff.
Wow.
And so it's like Disney really is its kind of own kingdom.
It's its own, yes, it is.
Yeah, it really is.
It's
own
sort
kingdom.
of Vatican City, Florida.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, they have their own school system. They have, everything. I know the the school system where I worked in Disney, somebody went down there.
But Disney also loves gays. They love the LGBTQ community. Like they brand themselves for them. They love it when they come. And so Florida having this opposite direction, this opposite goal and mission, they're going to try and take away their kingdomhood or whatever you want to call it. But it's gonna slap them back in the face when they get stuck with like their cost to upkeep the town or city, whatever Disney is.
But also they're really going to suffer with tourism if people. I mean, Disney wants to keep it a safe place for everybody because they want people to come. And the government is impinging on that, and that's going to make the tourism in Florida suffer. So it's a complicated thing. But I think DeSantis is much more concerned with the direction that he wants to go for the citizens rather than the tourism. So I don't know what that's going to do economically.
Ron DeStinky with his stinky ideas.
He's scary. So anyway, and then of course.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was going to say, you want to read a little bit more from this article?
Yeah. Let's just move forward a little bit. So we need to pay attention to the trauma. It's not happening by accident. It's telling us something about ourselves and our world, and it's only going to get louder the longer we drown it out. The message is as unsettling as it is obvious, as simple as it is radical, and as plain as our desire not to see it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see the trauma, but I do want to see the things that are causing it, because I feel that if I turn away from what's happening, this march of political badness is just going to steamroll. Right. This is the first time in my life I've really felt that if you look away, you'll look back and the country is going to be very different, because if we don't stop if we don't stop it from happening, they're just putting everything in place with gerrymandering and
Yeah.
trying to, I just read this. I follow a really, really good site. Her name is Coyote Annie. And in fact, she lives in Oklahoma and is trying to flee Oklahoma because of the things that they're doing.
Oh, really?
She is in a lesbian relationship, and her one of her children is trans, and
Okay.
it is not safe for them. She gives a lot of really good information about uh, the organizations behind all of they're pretty secret too. They're very, very quiet about what they're doing, and she's done all this deep diving into it. Maybe in a video format, we can explore some of that at some other time. But
Hmm.
um, but she, I just lost the point I was going to make about what I have learned from her. Uh,
Is it like
oh
just the general danger of like that
yeah,
her child's in,
um,
or
no, it was a specific point. Well, but her, yeah, it's really sad too because her son wants to go to school in Oklahoma, and
okay.
yeah, and but she has. Oh yes, the thing that I just saw was she talked about what the end goal is for the GOP. What it is they're working toward, and this I found very scary. That they want to actually change the Constitution, and they're working. She put out the map of how many states they need in order to be able to do that. And if I can find the post where she talked about that, I'll let you know. But she's been
Yeah.
basically with her followers coming through with more and more information about what she's discovered, and then she came out with the here's the end goal, here's what they're working toward.
Did she mention the serious leak that there was with the um uniting organizations of religious medical professionals that are banding together to purposefully create anti-trans legislation in order to get rid of trans people, and the leakage of their emails of going back and forth is so astonishing. They say point blank, the only reason that we're targeting trans children is because we all just unanimously decided that that was the best place to start
Of
when getting
course.
rid of them. So it wasn't even like we are actually concerned about children. They're not. They just straight up said this is the easiest place to start.
Oh yes, they're going after trans people in general.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's
But
very it's
you
very
you
obvious.
start with the children,
Yeah,
and their whole goal is to, like, they admit it plain as day in that leakage of emails.
yeah,
We are trying to get these people
eradicated.
exterminated,
Yeah, and
eradicated.
and
Like,
the it's always easy because people fall for it that we have to protect the children. That strategy is very common.
I think that's what kind of makes this like a traumatic feel, because it's like there's so much of human history. We've already done this kind of stuff before, like with Nazi Germany and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And it's like, here we go again. Really? Like, a lot of people are, I mean, there's dumb people, of course, but there's also very smart people, and they're seeing exactly what's going on. And I think it's the smart people that know where this is going to lead next that are the ones that are feeling like the most
And the
traumatized.
ones that are screaming the loudest about it, trying to
Yeah.
alert other people. Absolutely. I want to say hi to some people who came in because we did get a lot of people. Um,
Yeah.
and wow, people, you guys have been chatting. Oh, thanks, Lee. Lee gifted a membership, and Wojciech got it. So
Oh,
congratulations and
cool.
thank you, Lee, and hello. And hi,
Lee's
Angela.
awesome.
Hi, Yoga. Let
Hey,
me see.
Pooks.
Is
Boots.
Pooks in here?
She's
Yeah.
there.
Hi, Pooks. Hi, Elise. Elise came in. Elise is our newest moderator. Hi. Um,
Oh, that's cool.
Nice to see you. Joanna, did I miss you before? Hello, if I missed you. Anders, hi.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah, sure. So nice to see all of you. I'm sorry I have to look down. I can't. I'm afraid to touch. I'm afraid to touch anything without Jan's permission. Um, I know. Yeah, Jan keeps me sane. Jan has done a lot for me in terms of relaxing in doing live streams because I tend to be overly worried that I'm going to do the wrong thing and push the wrong button and whatever. And Jan's nature is so easygoing when it comes to that. But here's a good opportunity, Mark, for me to ask you. Speaking of videos and live streaming and stuff, what's happening with Hyperion Midnight?
Oh gosh, well, I'm about to break out some new stuff, and things are in development, and none of it is like set in stone. I'm kind of curious about some of the things people would like to see, so I might shift gears and put up a poll or something like that for people that have been following the channel.
Oh, that'd be great. You know,
Yeah,
one thing I gotta say that I love most about your content, Mark, is that ASMR element. It's like, I don't know, it's more like immersive. I feel like you definitely could have just like got on and delivered the material, but the fact that you offer this sort of it's almost like a gentle sort of fatherly feel that I feel like you give your content, and it's relaxing. And I feel like when people relax, they're more open to the information.
yeah, I think so. I try to go to that place and make it something that a person can listen to at night, and have some good things to consider, and then maybe drift on off to sleep.
Yeah,
Consistent with the midnight theme.
Yeah.
I want it to have a laid back feel. And,
yeah,
there's a good place in this, I guess, to talk about self care and the way we balance the things that make us relaxed and comfortable with the things we see in the news every day.
yeah. Do you have some techniques or things that you would like to share to help that work for you, or might work for other people?
Sure. Can you put us full screen instead of the article for a sec?
Yeah, I can. I'm just going to stop sharing, and I should be able to go back here and go down to Zoom and stop
Yeah,
sharing
yeah.
that. And no, whoops, I want Zoom to be
Just
showing. There we are.
right
See
now.
if
This
that
there we
happens.
are.
There
There
we
we are.
are.
Yeah. I was going to share, some of the tips are pretty obvious, gardening, right? Or a walk in the park, go touch grass. That's what they like to say now. But how about taking time to just make something with your hands?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I showed you guys this piece earlier. My daughter made this for me today for my birthday.
Oh yeah, the little
So
I
critter.
cute.
haven't
Yeah.
named him yet,
So cute.
but she is such a kinesthetic. She loves to make things with her hands. I'm not getting any of this right with
Yeah, no,
the
you did. You did. Put your other hand behind it, and then it'll focus maybe more. But it's so cute. Yeah, there.
I'm seeing such
Yeah.
a delay that
Oh,
it's
It's
really
working. It's
trippy.
working.
It's really trippy.
it's very
And
cute.
and this, in case, let me bring this one up.
Is that a little snake?
That is a camel pillar. See the humps?
Oh my goodness.
See the humps? That
That is
is
so delightful.
that is a hybrid of camel and caterpillar.
Camel pillar.
So this is the sort of thing that helps us. We just go to that place where we make stuff.
Oh, that kid's
Yeah.
going places for sure with that
Yeah.
imagination.
I think one of the worst parts of being really stressed, overwhelmed, and things that cause trauma is that feeling of helplessness that you can't do anything. So I think
I made an episode on this once.
yeah, and we've talked about it. I've talked about it with Philip in the past. You still want to do all of the things that you can to make sure that your voice is being heard, but there's a limit to that, and then you still feel that it's not taking away your stress. You find that you're still thinking about it all the time, which is the way
stress is energy. You're holding this energy, and sometimes just simply expelling or exerting that energy helps tremendously. And like Mark said, the top thing, gardening. I made a specific episode about like what do we do when we can't change the world immediately?
Yes.
If we can't change the whole world and solve everything immediately, and we're just like full of energy, what do we do? And I told a story of like I was feeling that way, there was the January 6th insurrection going on, and it was like so scary, so weird. And I went to my back patio space, and I had a little flower bed, and I just it was full of weeds and everything, and I just tore the shit out of that flower bed, like upturning all the weeds, pulling all the weeds out, doing that, and then like planting plants. And afterwards I felt so much better. And I understood rationally. I'm like, obviously this does not solve the world's problems, right? Me tearing
Yeah.
up my flower bed isn't going to solve
Yeah.
the world's problems, but because I was able to put that energy somewhere, that helped. Now you can do that in the form of like self-care, taking care of something. And then I feel like, there's ways to be an activist and just kind of like educating yourself. One of the things about stress and trauma is that it makes you revert to like a sort of like basic animalistic state, like you're backed up in the corner. And I've read that the best thing you can do when you're in that situation where you feel yourself just reverting to that more irrational, like just angry state, education, it really helps because it makes your brain start to problem solve rather than dwell.
That's a really good point, and I think it's just to be clear, that people understand that we're not expecting the things that we do to solve the problems. What you're trying to do is alleviate some of the stress for the things that you can't solve on your own. There's no,
Right.
in other words, if you're so overwhelmed, you're just making yourself sick. That's not, how is that in itself is not going to solve the problems in the world if we just allow ourselves to become so traumatized that we are useless. So I think that's why you have to find the techniques. You have to find something that actually helps you. So
I
those
think
are,
people should build a list of things they can do rather than being like one thing that they do in these times where they feel like super despairing about like the world situations. Like have a little list of things you can do. You can go on a walk, you can take a bath, you can uh email or phone call your representative, local representative. You can sign up for educational courses that help you understand like minorities better or something like that. Just have like a little list of things that contain both activism type of things, proactive things, and then things that you do to take care of yourself.
yeah. If you know that you've done the things that you can do, like contacting a representative, and we all need to do that. Where I am in Massachusetts, it's, we're pretty lucky, but that doesn't mean you still can't say what is happening in God. What are you doing to try to change some of the terrible things that are all happening in the rest of the country? Um, Pook said have options. Yeah, absolutely. Um, who's getting censored on TikTok, Lee? Hi, Andy. Um, Hi, anybody new that came in. Who's getting censored on TikTok?
TikTok is really weird. They will ban all sorts of like ridiculous things, but then simultaneously allow a lot of controversial issues.
Yeah, it's TikTok is a very, very strange world. Um, but contacting the reps, yeah, absolutely, Elise. I mean, uh, if I lived in a state, well, if I lived in one of like Oklahoma or Florida or something, I would be beside myself. I don't know how, that's when you're going, that's when you're down there protesting. Um,
I almost actually called my representative in California because in California, the state that you think like every minority is safe here, they're actually putting on the table the bill that where schools, if teachers and school staff overhear students identify as a gender other than what they have on records, then it's mandatory for them to report it to their parents.
isn't that also what they did in Florida? Did they do
Yeah,
that in Florida? You know,
they're they're putting that bill all around, and it is on the table for California.
that is it's so terrifying because if the kids hadn't told their parents, there's a reason.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
so this is an example of why the GOP says that everything they do is because they're caring about the kids, but they really don't, because what they're doing with that is saying, if you've told your parents, right, if your parents know, and this is in Florida now, this happened already, that if your parents know, they can and approve of you and are getting you gender affirming care, they now can take you away. They can take the kid away from the loving parents. However,
right, they're trying to label it as child abuse.
Yeah, if you're subjecting the kid, or not even that, if it could be that subjecting the kid to gender affirming care rather than having it provided because the child
I love that
wants
wording.
It. But they're at the point where you can be, you can have trans parents and a parent who's trans, and they can remove the child. It's very vague. And also what's really scary, even more scary, sad. It just gets worse and worse. You can live outside of Florida. You could live here where I live, which is, safe. But your ex could take the child to Florida, and Florida's system will overrule custody agreements. So that's whatever, ridiculous. Yeah. So you can have a custody agreement that the child is receiving gender affirming care, and the state can overrule it. It's really, really scary. It's almost so scary that you don't believe it's true. Like you have to go and check.
It is kind of unbelievable.
That's messed up.
It is. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, as a parent, just somebody who's a caring parent, what's your overall gut response to legislation fucking around with kids this way?
It's completely disgusting and enervating, and the kids are obviously just it's a pawn, it's a tactic, it's gross. It's not hard to think of the kind of scenario. You've got a shared custody scenario, and say a trip to Disney World becomes a pretext for taking a child away from the main custodial parent. That's insane.
It is.
That's like Texas level insane and going on in Florida.
Yeah. And what's also really scary is that they say it's to protect the children. However, if as I said, if the parents are helping the child, supporting the child, they'll remove it, right, from a loving family. But what happens when the child hasn't told the parents because they're afraid of the reaction? Now they can be subjected to, and this is a very, very real possibility, physical abuse, being kicked out of the house, being sent somewhere to have, therapy to get over the
conversion therapy or something crazy like that. Let's send our kid to a camp.
But the government isn't caring about that abuse. If you were really caring about the kid, wouldn't you understand that if the child has not told the parents, there's a reason, and that could be something that actually hurts the child? But they don't care about that. They want parents to have the right to do as they see fit with the children, but only if they agree with what the government wants.
That's taking a lot of weight, and even if
then they'll remove the kid.
If parents are supportive of a trans child, you know what? I could see a child keep that secret, even under the direction of their parents, to prevent that situation where the government takes them out of the home. So if a kid accidentally slips up with friends, then suddenly the whole family is torn apart for what? It's very divisive.
That might be a thing, but know that it's not just trans children. They are going to go after trans adults. It's just like
go ahead and finish.
I was going to say it's just like with abortion. They're
I was just gonna say that
not,
next. It's like shit's going down really heavy recently, not just with trans people. Okay, it is a big issue. Like anti-trans legislation is a big issue, but we're finding that the U.S. is trying to go back on a lot of other things that, frankly, should have already been solved by now, like critical race theory being taught in classes, and then the abortion issues.
yeah. Well, I think it's Idaho. It's so hard to keep up with what all the states are doing, but I think it's Idaho where they have stopped. Oh, oh.
You're not subtle back there.
um,
you're live on the internet.
She's fine.
That was like my mother did that once. She kind of crept through, took something, and crept back.
Like if you're really quiet, you can't.
Then you're invisible. Yeah, then you're invisible. What would really be funny is if they put a little sheet over them and walked in, took what they
or carry a house plant.
Yes, right. That'd be funnier. That'd be funnier. But I think it's Idaho that now they want to go after people who leave the state to have an abortion, and they figured they'll go after the kids first. So, you can't, if your parents want to take you out of the state to have an abortion, they won't be allowed to, and that then they're going to go after the adults, and it's very, very frightening. Let me see what's happening, Lee. I just saw I'm so sorry. Oh, I am so sorry, Leah. I saw something on Instagram that was really sad, and I sent you a message, something about, siblings. Siblings?
Let's see.
Oh, no. A friend sent you?
Oh, so last night during my live stream, we started diving into Mount Walsh, and so Lee's saying that he woke up to a friend that he's had for 3 years, sending him anti-trans videos of Matt Walsh.
Oh.
Like, seriously, like, that sucks. I've had similar situations. I can totally feel for you.
And did you say that you have trans siblings or a trans sibling? I'm so sorry. Yes, you do.
That's messed up.
Oh, that is messed up. That is messed up. I'm glad you're here with us tonight, because we are all, I'm speechless.
Speaking of Matt Walsh, I think he's a good example of like how there's like people with a lot of social power in the right wing, sort of like Christian fascist sort of sense, because Matt Walsh actually proudly labels himself as like a theocratic fascist. And I feel like he's sort of like the persona of him and other people too. There's like Ben Shapiro, there's Steven Crowder, and Tucker Carlson. These sort of people that help feed and stir the fear and the anguish that's happening, and they do so in a very projecting way, where they make like trans people and Black people and just like women who choose to have abortions, like they're very good at painting them as demons, and contributing to the environment. I think that where it encourages people to support legislation that's against trans people, against critical race theory and abortion.
They're very good at twisting the narrative and painting particular and very, very inaccurate portraits of things. The critical race theory thing, that's another thing that's very disturbing, because critical race theory is not taught in school. That's university level. But they have that as a catchphrase, right? They're like, critical race theory, it's being taught to our kids, when really what's being taught is just accurate history.
Yeah, that's what it's like. I was saying yesterday, I was suggesting a book about American history to read, by Howard Zinn, and it's like it's such a good book because it's like not your fifth grade history class sort of thing. Because when you learn history in fifth grade, it's very whitewashed across the board.
Um, yeah, I agree, Lee. Yeah, Jan, absolutely. And um, pointing out pointing out these that is the way you have to fight back against this, is that you have to keep pointing it out. And there are some very, very articulate voices who are doing that. I just think, unfortunately, and this happens to me a lot, I can get caught up in my own world of the people who I think are intelligent and say the right things, and but the people who need to be hearing this aren't. They're caught up in their own cycle. It's like that that just awful case of the young kid who got shot by that Fox News watching, brainwashed
Oh, the black kid that got
elderly,
shot by the old white dude.
because he was scared. He had been brainwashed and conditioned, and this is what his grandson said about him. And those news channels need to be held accountable for that. If you're going to do that,
I think so. Yeah.
It's
Those news channels are operating from like a deeper part of
it's
American humanity
yeah, it's
that
malicious.
still believes in discriminating against black people and things like that. So I brought up an interesting point with like the guy that shot the old guy that shot the black kid. It's not just a matter of like gun safety, and it is, it's racism, but it's like deeper than that. There's a lot of history of gun ownership that where the US would let American citizens keep their guns on them and stuff for several reasons, but like one of the big reasons that nobody really likes to address is to protect yourself from rogue slaves. So I think that's like a really big, just like sort of just that old American mentality. When this guy grabs a gun, sees a black kid, doesn't even think twice, and just completely like shoots them. Luckily, the kid survived. I gotta say.
Is he going to be okay? I
I
mean,
haven't heard like any updates, but he is going to be alive. And Frank, I hope that family sues the hell out of that guy.
oh yeah. I mean, and the terrifying thing. It was so sad. I thought it was a
All
joke.
because he was looking for his like little
Oh
siblings,
yeah, these
like
people
his.
are they're turning around in people's driveways and they get shot and killed. They're walking up to the wrong
Mhm,
door. They're
mhm.
it's insane what's happening. Good night, Angela. Jeannie. Hi, Jeannie. Um, so I'm just reading what Yoga Nature said. Habitual trauma, phrasing aids compassionate perspective, that pausing before reactive reflexive. Um, I I think there's too many people who don't pause, that they simply react without thinking. And I think that is absolutely what happened in the case of that kid. Um,
What else does the article kind of like
yeah, I'm sorry. I was
sum
reading
up and say?
comments. There's a lot of good conversations going on in our. You guys are awesome. Um, okay, okay. Let's go over. I'm missing something that just happened, but let's go back to the article for a bit, which means that I need to go back to Zoom and
Yeah.
hit.
I sort of wish I could like just study the comments and then tap somebody and they would be live with us on the call. That would be great.
Yeah, okay. Let's go. You know what?
That would be a cool feature
Let's
that if you could just,
let's just
yeah.
let's just keep talking, because
I mean, if
um
they wanted to, right?
here,
If they wanted to.
I would like that too. In fact, we were talking about having other people on, guests.
You can set up a situation where it's almost like a little bit like a call-in show.
That would be
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I have to learn to do that because I would really enjoy that. And what's the thing that you did a lot this year, Elise? Oh, blocked. Yeah, yeah, I've blocked some people if they come around and are
I've been
trying to
blocking people left and right.
yeah. Well, if they're spewing transphobia and racism, yeah, it still shocks me when I see really really horrific racist comments. Because you think, oh, we're past. Oh no, it's alive and well, and shockingly so. Um, and
One thing I'm thinking about in response to like just kind of being overall pressured and under stress with like the anti-trans legislation stuff. One thing I've decided to do recently, I did come out to like my workplace like in the very beginning, but it was so brief, I feel like they kind of forgot it, and they're not doing anything wrong. So, but very recently I decided to text like two of my main bosses and just explain to them like I am like trans and non-binary, and I go by they them this and that, and I got like two of the most beautiful responses, supportive like responses from them. But I would the reason why I'm like doing that, and I even went to my mother and I'm like, Mom, just to reiterate, I'm non-binary and trans, because there's so much shit against like trans kids and stuff. I want to combat that by being visible and out in the open, because I want to be an example to
mhm,
these kids during this trying time. Like, look at me. I'm a trans adult. I have a job. I pay my bills, my taxes. I brush my teeth,
mhm.
and I here I am, and I exist. There's a future for you. There's a future where you can become a trans adult. So that is sort of an example of how I've tried to combat just the disparity of like all this anti-trans legislation stuff. I'm like, how can I like speak against that by simply just being present and unafraid? I'm kind of at this point where I'm just like, you know what, come get me. But I'm not going to live the rest of my life in a lie.
Do you think do you think some kids in Florida and other places are going to have to try to hide who they are until they become adults? That's
Oh
saying
yeah,
that
yeah,
that by then it won't be also illegal to be an adult trans person. Um,
yeah. I think this is what's going to happen. It's not going to stop kids from being trans. It's just going to make it more difficult for them to be out in the open, and they're going to hide it, because that's always the mentality of children. I find if they really believe in something and they really want to be something, do something, they're going to do it behind your back. If you especially if you tell them no, that's wrong, like they're going to get curious, and they're going to like come out and they're going to express that in some way, shape, or
yeah.
form anyways.
Even if the parents are supportive, but I'm just talking about if it gets to the point where the parents, and rightfully so, are just too scared for their kids. I know so many are.
I could foresee parents either being like, all right, we got to move out of the
Yeah,
state,
have you
or
ever
we got
heard
to
of that?
we got to keep this hushed up so that we don't
Yeah.
get in trouble.
When have you ever heard we need to flee from somewhere in the United States? We need to flee our state. I,
Well,
I,
not since like the Civil War era, I feel.
I mean, it's really, really, it's beyond disturbing. It's surreal.
It is.
I have a hard time processing that. Um, yeah. Um,
Luckily, there is, I can't remember, is it West Virginia or something? There's one state that proudly puts out there that they're accepting of trans people, and
there's a couple.
they'll accept people fleeing from other states
Yeah.
into their state and help them
Yeah.
reestablish their lives. So
Yeah.
there is positive movement to it. Everything we're talking about, trauma, everything being shitty. There still is progress in some places. It's just
Yeah.
it's small, but if
Didn't
we focus on that, highlight those, and keep working towards that, I think we're all going to be better off.
didn't
um
Minnesota do that? I know New Jersey then followed
yeah.
suit and signed and
Uh-huh.
said we're a safe haven. But
Yeah.
we're getting close on time. Just wanted to say something that I just saw earlier tonight, right before the live stream, that, and this is a really good example of the kinds of issues you're going to have. It was, I think it was a TikTok video, and it was a trans man who was saying, they passed a law, and I think it was in Ohio, maybe Ohio, uh, saying that you must use the bathroom of your, assigned at birth sex. And so this person was saying, well, I'm going to do that. You better be prepared for this in, in the women's bathroom. And it was a, what's it called when somebody takes that and then continues it? It's a, oh, there's a word for it, whatever. Somebody had, it's not spliced, but something like that. Somebody, this very, very anti-trans man comes on and says, if you follow my daughter into the women's room, you better be sure that I'm coming for you. It was very nasty. And the point to the video was that he got it completely wrong. This anti-trans person got it completely wrong, because according to the law that they passed, that he approves of, this individual would have to use the women's bathroom. It's a he, but he would have to go into the women's bathroom and follow this man's daughter in.
Yeah, I don't think people realize,
they
like,
don't.
They
don't
think about
realize.
trans people, and they think about like the typical like trans woman who looks really gruff and not
Yes.
very passing, but it's
Yes.
like which is a different conversation, talking in terms of like passing and non-passing. But you're gonna get like dudes, guys going into the women's restroom, and then the women are
Yes.
going to be like, what the fuck are you doing
Yes.
here? It's
Yes.
like, well, it's a law, I have
This
to
is
come
the
in
law.
here.
Yeah, that was
And then
exactly
it's
the
gonna
point.
get really weird.
Yeah, and this guy just completely missed it. And the point of the person who was presenting the video within the video was to show that point, that
Yeah.
this is something that's very likely going to happen now. And the end result of it is to make trans people feel unsafe when they're out. That was the bottom line. That is the result. That trans people,
It's
when
like
they
all
go
they
out,
want to do is pee.
is pee. Yeah. Is it too
Or
much
shit.
to ask? You know,
I just want to pee
So-
or shit. There
Is
is
that really too much?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, there was some lady, I can't remember what she was called. She was like a TikToker, maybe before TikTok. Maybe it was something else. But she was like some Southern sounding, like a white cis woman, and she was in support of, trans people using bathrooms. And she's like, you know what? If they're gonna prevent trans people from using the bathroom, I think they should all just shit on the floor. And she called it a bowel movement in solidarity. like we should just shit all over the place. It's a bowel movement.
the argument that the other side, the anti-trans people put forth, are so poor. The logic behind it is so poor.
Yeah.
If a man wants to do something to assault a woman, they're going to find a way to do it. This is not opening any doors. It's not.
It's not magic.
They just simply don't like. They're just simply transphobic. That's the ultimate thing. And hi Rebecca, thank you for that. Putting through your 3 months as a wavelet, appreciate it. Oh, thank you to all of our supporters, all of our channel members. Thank you again to Lee for gifting a membership. Really appreciate it. And also Elise super chatted, and I don't think I mentioned that, and really appreciate that too. We're going to end, and I'm going to just say one thing more, which is that one of the things that helps me, and I told you guys before the stream started, when I am extremely overwhelmed, I realize that I have access to knowledge that most people don't have. Which is what reality is and what we are and where we are, what's happening. Mm-hmm. And it can be very helpful to escape from your avatar perspective, go into monadic perspective, and realize the big picture of what's actually going on here, which is that we are all together, this one mind who's just playing a game. That this is what ultimately it is.
Yeah.
And you come back down to avatar mode and you realize, yes, we still have to deal with all of this here. But when you visited that overall perspective, it's like a reset. It reminds you of, oh yeah, that's right, that's right. I've lived countless lives. I'm an eternal mind. I am not this ego. Yes, I have to live in this for now, but there's an overall picture, and that helps you to right away you want to share that with others so that they will also understand that, and it reminds you of our purpose and what we're doing here. That we are, absolutely, Lee, the triadic perspectives is essential. I always find that helpful for any kind of trauma I was going through. I mean, with the loss of my father, with just difficulties I'm having with family issues that are going on. It's just ongoing. I find that something that really helps me. So do you guys have any final words, or
I don't. I think that was very beautifully said, Susan.
Thanks. And Mark, I really appreciate you coming on, and I hope you will do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
My daughter is dying to jump in. She wants to photobomb us, I think.
Oh, let her do it.
Are you still in there, Emerson?
Emerson, come in. Be on camera.
You want to pop onto the stream with us for a minute? Are you dressed? Okay, you can come this way then. Come on. Don't turn shy now. Come on, you're an art school girl. You can't stay that shy. Come on.
Tell her how much we love her work.
Come on. Come on, everybody's friendly. Just pop over here and say hi.
Oh, hi, Emerson.
Hi.
Hi, Emerson.
Be on camera.
Hi.
See what the green light is?
Hi.
Just wave.
Hi. We love your artwork.
It's a delay. Okay.
You can watch it later. You can watch it later. Yeah, you're getting waved at. Look at the chat. Oh, okay. People are waving. Bye, Emerson.
Goodbye.
That was adorable. So yeah, we hope you'll come back and keep us posted about what's happening.
I will.
Because we are very much anticipating
I'm
your
anxious
next
for
video.
a new video from you. Totally.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's so cute. Everybody's smiling and waving.
In fact, speaking of videos, me and Mark did a pre-recorded discussion just a couple days ago, and I'm going to be releasing it soon. Monday, most likely. I'll do a premiere thing, and it'll be another Talking with Jan episode. We're talking about tarot cards and using AI, and so yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. So take a look out for that.
Excellent. Oh, Cassidy wants a quokka. Let me just do quokka really fast.
Okay.
Quokka's huge. I gotta move him up there. Yeah, Quokka's used to only having 2 people, so there's Quokka. And what else do we have to just say anything before we go? Oh yes, next week I almost forgot. Normally that would be our end of month live stream with our secret afterward, but unfortunately Philip has to work, so I've already discussed it with Philip. We are going to do that the following week. We're kind of moving to having our big live stream in the beginning of the month for a couple of months because of Philip's work schedule. This live stream today was because we just hadn't been on in a while, and we are also working on a new video which should be coming out. I think he's filming tomorrow, so look for that. Maybe next Saturday can premiere it, and our live stream the week after that. Oh, Elise, thank you for gifting another. Or maybe this is your first one. I'm not sure, but Tyler got it. Hello, Tyler. I don't think I said hi to you. So congratulations. And so, yeah, in 2 weeks, we'll be doing our end of month. Philip will be back. And we'll get back on track. April's been a weird month. So good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. And we'll see you next time. Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, we are